Okay, yeah, bye week. Kind of approached it early in the week to take a deep look at ourselves. And so Monday and Tuesday, a lot of self-scouting, trying to learn from our first 4 games, what we put out on tape, what we're doing well, what we got to do better. Just kind of an evaluation of our schemes, personnel, those kind of things. And you're always looking to grow and just learn lessons from that. So we took those couple of days and then emphasized that in practice on Wednesday. Flipped gears on Thursday practice with the emphasis on Nebraska. And then we did that on Sunday as well. So gave Friday and Saturday to the guys. We did a heavy amount of recruiting Thursday evening, Friday, all day and evening watching guys. And so big goal of, coming back yesterday, just kind of improvement on what we learned, right? Emphasizing that, but just coming recovery, got some bumps and bruises, mid-season healthy, getting refreshed and refocused. After 4 games, going into a stint. I know we're 1 game at a time, but a stint of 5 games straight here. And so was pleased with the work we got done yesterday, kind of as the team. And so headed toward a big opportunity back into this league and conference play in a tough environment, going back on the road. Coach Rule's done a nice job there. These guys is a good football team. They can score points. Quarterback's one of the better ones we're going to play. You can see their stats and points scored and passing yards and those things. I think defensively they hold their own. Done some really good things, especially on the back end. The pass defense, you look at it, stands out on tape. So we got a real challenge coming Saturday. A couple updates I hadn't talked to you for a minute, just on the injury side. Wayne Matthews was able to fly back with us that night of the game, and again, credit to our medical team, medical staff, thorough, going through protocols on the expertise side of that. Actually was able to move around late in the week. It was nice to have the bye for him to adjust, and so he's been able to lightly practice. We'll see how it goes through the week, but he's got a chance to play this Saturday. Same with Nakai and Quindarius. I think they have a chance this weekend. Quindarius, both of them, and Nakai were limited yesterday, but we'll see what by the end of the week. Stanton Remo is going to be a little bit longer. He's closer to a month on that, so he will not be going this week. And it's that time of year. You get into the middle of the season, and like I say, bumps, bruises, next guy up, all of that. But I thought from those 4 guys, just giving you an update with that. Yeah, fire away questions.
Wanted to kind of start with the Stanton thing. Obviously, we know about some of the other injuries and some of the depth issues there, but left tackle is such an important spot for you guys.
Yep.
I'm wondering what you saw back with Rustin and the snaps that he played there and how you progressed. Obviously, Ashton has some experience there. Connor's got some experience there as well. That's
been the conversation, kind of what our best answer is going to be over there. Rustin got thrown in there I think it was into the first quarter, and he did some good things throughout the night. And that's a good, especially on the edge. The USC presented some problems on the edge, and I thought Rustin held his own and battled through that night. And now that you had the bye to take a look at a couple of different options, because we got it with Connor's got some experience over there, obviously Lepo, and then Rustin himself. And so can't say today how exactly we'll play that out, and probably not going to tell Coach Rule right here on a Monday, but we've got some options.
When you talk about the self-scout that you guys did, I'm curious defensively what that revealed. What did you notice about your group? Because I know that seems to be the part that's holding you guys back a little bit this season.
Yeah, well, it was glaring, game 4 versus game 1 through 3 in regards to run defense. And so we got to be able to make people, one-handed, to be honest with you. You can't have that kind of balance, and that was out of the ordinary. So we took a deep look at that. It never is, but it's not just one thing. We got out of our gap, missed the line. We got too much movement sometimes in our blitzes, schemes, creating too much air there. We've got to play some tighter coverage to force people out of the run game and make it challenging there. So it was good in regards to looking at 4 games, and there's always opportunities to improve, and we needed to do it.
And then in the event that Wayne can't play on Saturdays, is Brady healthy enough to play, or is that going to be Marcellus?
Brady's not. No, Brady will not be going the rest of this year due to injury.
Jonathan, 3-1, same record as last year, but I think everyone would agree you're better in a lot of ways. Which of those improvements makes you the happiest, and why hasn't pass rush been one of them?
Right. You're pleased with some growth. I think a balance, we talked about it offensively, but our ability to, push the ball in the pass game. I think the tackles for loss when we're playing offense is down, and this was allowed for our efficiency to be a little bit better. Really pleased kind of with that. On the pass rush side, yeah, we're still kind of searching for, and again, we've played some teams where the ball comes out quick. You're not going to have that many opportunities, but finding a way to affect the passers, not just the sack column. Where I'm going is, though, we got to be better in affecting the passer. It goes back to some of these down and distances. More third and longs, the better chance you got to get around the guy. And so it's going to be a group effort, whether it's down and distance, secondary, tighter coverage, so they got to hold the ball a little bit longer. And then, winning some one-on-ones needs to get better.
Jonathan, we saw late against USC the 75-yard pass from Aiden to Joe Mari. How much more of that explosiveness do you see the potential for in your offense? The first score you had on that night as well, and just what you want to see in big playability.
Yeah, those big plays. We want to show up, and we want it to be not just because we throw it 50 yards. We want to find continued plays. A guy catches the ball at 8, 10, 12 yards deep and turns it into big ones. Love the run game to continue to grow versus 6, 8, or 10 turns into a couple of them 25 and 30. It helps the offense when you can do that. I will say we were pleased. You look at the efficiency just by possession in regards to getting points per possession. It's been a lot better than maybe a year ago, and we want to continue on that trend.
What was a Saturday in September different for you when there's no game? I mean, you guys are always working. Do
Yeah.
you get away from it? Were you a couch potato? You spend time with the family? What do you do on a Saturday when you have a game?
I do think it was important to take a day to call it, get away from it, and just have some normalcy, not just for myself, for the staff, and everybody did their own things. I did spend some time with the fam, got around the house, did a couple of things around the house, but at the same time the TV was on, and I couldn't keep from watching some of these games. And it was good to have a perspective, to see all these games going on and things, and how competitive it is, how a lot of these games come down to 2-3 plays. I look at even watching some of these games, we call it halftime, but I'm not certain that's half the game. After the first half, there is so much football left. In the second half, multiple ones going into overtime. So that's how I spent my Saturday.
Jonathan, you mentioned about the pass game. How limited did you feel like Nick was when you went back and looked, and how did the week off maybe help him get back towards 100?
Yeah, I think the limitation, one, you're talking physically, he was close to 100, not 100, but he was close. What you think about the limitation is how limited he was through the week. And so how many reps he got in situations, timing is a factor. And so to take the week where you got limited amount of reps that way, I think that was the greater limitation in regards to not knowing how many plays, if at all, he was going to get in, and then putting a plan together throughout the week where he's a 50-50. I think that held his limit, or his limitation. That was the biggest factor through the week.
Jonathan, I believe, so 4 games in, I believe Aiden West and Jack Wills are the only true freshmen that have played in every game for you. I think Simmons at 3, Savory at 2. Just wondering, did you see those guys continuing to be part of the group? And is there anybody else that's close from that true freshman class that you think could filter in as you move forward?
Aiden West, just like I said, Aiden and Jack, they're going. Savory, we had thorough conversations as last week. I think the intention right now is for him to continue to go and play. Simmons, we've got our eyes on. We'll see how these next few play out in regards to the rotation. We really like both those guys. So 50, don't know on Simmons quite yet for the using a redshirt year or not. Savory, I would anticipate him going.
Anybody in cusp, you think, that could eventually make their way to that thing?
I'm trying to think out of that freshman class. No one's jumping up and down right now. That's not probably redshirting.
Going back to the offensive line, what have you seen out of Matt Gulbin at center? I think he's the only guy that's played every snap this season. Obviously, center, you want to have that stability, but what has he brought this group?
Really consistent. I adapt to because we're running a different scheme than what he was doing his first 3 years in college. Consistent, I think he's adapted to. He makes a lot of calls and all of that. There are some times that the difference in scheme that he did 3 years and then coming over here, it shows up once in a while where he's still working his way out of that. But I think he's playing at a high level at center because he's full-time. He played a decent amount of guard previously. he's been an anchor to that O-line.
And then the tough 4-game, it's 5-game schedule, but the next 4 particularly are pretty tough games for you guys to face. What do you think you'll learn from senior group kind of going to the fire there and play some of these tough teams?
Yeah, I mean, that's what we love being a part of. I mean, this Big Ten Conference, it's week in and week out. You got to bring your fastball. You got to bring your A game. It's tough to win games. It's another thing I observed, to be able to sit there and watch some of these things on Saturday, of how competitive it is. Hard to win, easy to lose. And so each week has the life of its own. We talked about that too as a team yesterday, a little bit of, you're going to play a game, you're going to learn from it, but the previous game does not define what the next game is going to be about. And we're going to get into this gauntlet, and each week is its own process, and we're excited about the challenge that presents.
For a mid-season bye week, do you get concerned that it takes the edge off your players competitively, or can it energize your team?
I mean, I think it's more of the energy. These guys have been working really hard, knowing that week, yeah, it's not completely off, right? We're practicing, they're still in it, but I do think there's value in a couple of days away from it. Brings back some re-energy, excited about what they get to do and the opportunities in front of it, and I think that's been the mindset of these guys this last week.
Jonathan, over here, wanted to ask you about Malik Spencer and just what he provides your defense. And I mean, obviously the jarring hit in the end zone prevents a touchdown. There's a couple
Early.
other plays. I mean, I'm just wondering, in terms of personality, player, like a guy who's been around forever, and what he is to your defense.
Well, his experience shows. He's been in a lot of football. His energy radiates on that defensive side. His voice, his experience with his voice in regards to checks, communication, in and out of the play on the sideline. I think guys look up to him. That this game means a lot to him. The way he practices, understands that he wants to go full speed in practice. That's going to show up on Saturdays. He's that type of player.
Thanks. I'd want to ask you a little bit about Aisi Amoa, linebacker. Played a little bit more the last game with Pretzlaff not being available, playing some inside linebacker, young player. How do you see his development coming around? And is he, maybe that's a role that you'll need him to expand a little bit more. How's he coming along?
Yeah, he's come along well. We do ask him, inside he's gotten some more turns, especially the other night when Jordan, leaves in the first half and then Wayne goes down. We call him Icy on the edge to do some plays on third down. I can see his role continue to expand and the inside backer play. We like that he's here. He's been a contributor on special teams too. We've got him on most phases there, and what you expect out of your linebacker crew, but he's probably one of the leader ones on the special team side and has earned more time at inside backer.
Jonathan, right here. Opposed to last season, offensive red zone success has been much more efficient. What changed, and how do you continue that momentum moving forward?
We didn't deeply study last year in any way. I know this year, if you can run the ball down there, it sets up your play action pass. We've had some success with that. The versatility of your quarterback has helped in regards to extending a play or running the quarterback. So I think our repertoire is expanded in these first 4 games, and I think it's a massive difference. The 7 versus 3 points, obviously, versus 0. And we've had some effective play, run game, and the quarterback down there.
One more. Can you expand a little bit more about Nebraska and what jumps off the film with them and Raiola and the run game? Holgerson being there and so forth.
The passing game, they're just so effective with it, and it's blended with some run-pass options. So RPO that's going on. The quarterback can change his arm angle. He's a gifted player. Extend the play, yes. Change his arm angle. Their efficiency, their ability to stay out of 3rd and long because of the passing. They've got some weapons. They're throwing it to it, and they got some good coaches over there. I mean, Coach Rule, Coach Holgerson, they know what they're doing offensively, and it shows up on tape. I think they're close to leading the country in some of these stats of points and passing offense.
I'm wondering about when you go into a bye week like this, usually you're kind of watching the next opponent. When another opponent has a bye as well, does that kind of wash a lot of that out? And I guess how much did you spend I guess, IDing particularly the Michigan game for Nebraska and what things you can do down there?
Yeah, you're always looking at the previous game pretty heavily. Now, you're still looking for scheme fit, and there's some similarities to the scheme there. I think there is some clarity that comes when both teams have a bye, so there's not going to be any new tape. So bye week for us, we approach it ourselves first couple of days, but then you head into your opponent. They're not going to play again, so some of the decisions you can make earlier because you're not waiting on maybe their final game or final tape to see. So they're, is there advantage, disadvantage? I think it's equal on both sides. There's no new tape, and so you can make plans off of the tape for 2 weeks.